Hi all, Agent here, and I'm here with the message. Get on the point and stay on the point. You're going to see one of the most frustrating things that you can see in a battle arena match, and a league arena match for that matter. Anything capture point. First thing, I'm going to go to near point because I was aimed that way. Normally I charge mid and go try to cap that, but I was much closer to near, so that's the point I went to. So we're going to try to capture that, and we are good. No high-speed planes here already, and we're going to take off, head for midpoint. It's not being capped yet, which is a pretty good sign. Just getting started, and it looks like I've got the rest of the team coming behind me, so this is good. Two of them here. This could be a good, nice battle. I'm going to pop a shield. I'm going to sit in this EMP. I don't care. I want to stall this capture as long as I can. Maybe that was a bad move. Maybe I should have driven out of it. But I wanted to stall that cap. And look how close we are. Look how close we are. And my teammate stepped off of the point with a sliver left. We had that. The enemy was not there. He could have finished the cap before the enemy even got on it. Enemy stepped off of it. But he stepped off of it and literally handed them the point. You got to stay on the point. Dying doesn't matter if you get the point. So many players play this game, and I see this way too often, which is why I'm making this video. They're afraid to die. They don't want to die because they feel like they lost. So instead of dying and winning the match, they will not die but lose the match. And they probably still die most of the time. It's the dumbest way to play this game mode. Dying doesn't matter if you win at the end of the match. Sometimes it's actually a good strategy to keep throwing yourself at the points, which is basically what I'm going to do for this match because we're man down and we started off that way. Obviously now I'm not going to sit in the EMP, but if I'm on a point and they pop an EMP, that's fine. I'll pop my shield right before it goes off and I will sit there, and they're going to have to kill me before they can start capturing for themselves. I'm going to sit there and stall as long as I can unless I'm right on the edge of it, and I can definitely get out of it and then get back on the point before they've done much capturing or before they've captured it. If it looks like it's going to be close, I'm not going to try to drive off of the point because a lot of times the momentum from the EMP, your momentum, even though you've been stunned, will carry you off of the point. And then you're sitting there dying and not stalling a cap. So a lot of times it's better to just sit on the point and stall that cap and just take it. A lot of times your team will show up and help, or maybe they won't. In this case, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Way too often during this match, there are times that they're just kind of dilly-dallying. There's no urgency, and they're not really doing much of anything while I've got the enemy team engaged. We're going to see here in a couple minutes what I'm talking about. But mortars, this guy is using a tilt mortar. His bot is built at an angle in the back so he can shoot that mortar like a shotgun. So it's always my goal to shoot that mortar off. Again, going to drive out of the EMP. No reason to sit there and take it this time. I would love to kill him, but their entire team is there except for maybe one guy. So I'm just going to get out of there. I'm going to lead whoever I can away. People like to chase kills, and that's what he's doing. He's trying to chase the kill. So I'm going to just keep on running, let my team cap their near point. I'm going to circle back around because with our team capping their near point, they're probably going to beeline for their near point. So I'm just going to circle back around to mid and start capping it right behind them. Sometimes tactics like this work when you're short-manned. Other times they don't work because you're short-manned and the enemy team is too responsive and your team just can't make up for being down a man. But sometimes this works. So we're going to try it this match because I feel like it's going to work. So there. Great. We've got all the points. Unfortunately, half of our team is respawning. Four of us. I wanted to charge their base, and I really hate that bug. They really need to fix this map terrain. They need to fix this geometry to accommodate all movement types and not just some. It's been a long-term problem. It's been going on, I think, since 2014. On these bridges, they made the terrain too rough, and they just haven't fixed them. This map is completely different than the original maps. It's all new, and they still didn't fix that problem. Like, what is with these developers sometimes? So anyway, we're going to fight on the bridge. We're going to keep a couple enemies busy. My goal is to occupy at least 2 of them for as long as I can, so that hopefully my team can get in there and really rape their core or take the points or just do whatever they can to get us ahead. It'll even the odds if I can keep 2 of them busy, and it shifts the odds in our favor if I can keep 3 of them busy. That leaves only 2 of them left to fight 3 of my teammates, so that would normally shift the odds in our favor. Here I respawn. Was going to run down the near to take it back, but we had an ally go down. I'm hoping he's more than capable of handling that and capturing near back, so excuse me, need a drink. Rather than losing mid as well, I'm going to run over to mid and help hold on to that, so we'll still have 2 points and not be down to 1. Be down to 1 and have it be far point. That's the last point. You want to be the only point you're holding. Take a swig of Sody Pop. Anyway, guy couldn't handle near, didn't cap it back, don't know what was going on. That's another problem, is people that are fighting enemies near points that we don't own and not on the point. You got to get on the point. That is the point of this game mode, is to be on the point. And if you're fighting somewhere when you could be capturing a point or fighting over that point and you're not, you're fighting somewhere else, you're doing it wrong. You're playing this mode like deathmatch. It's not deathmatch. Deaths don't matter to an extent here as long as you're controlling the points. You got to control the points. So don't be afraid to die. Dying is perfectly okay. Now, I am fighting away from the point, not heeding my own advice, but I'm not going to go chasing after that guy. If he got on the other side of that rock, I wasn't going to chase him. I was going to go to this point, which is what I should have done in the first place. But he was also close to death and disarmed, so I should have went over here and helped cap this point sooner. Again, EMP. Don't care. I'm going to sit here and finish the cap. Pop that shield to protect me while he approaches. I'm going to try to back up to the other side. We're going to start shooting him. I'm going to stay on this point because, look, their entire enemy team is coming here. All 5 of them are coming to this point to get me off of it as fast as they can. Considering the kind of firepower that I was sitting here facing, the bot held up pretty well. I got a slight buff from being short of man. And look at that. The whole time I'm there, my team isn't doing anything. They're not fighting them because I'm the only one that's there fighting them. They're not capturing mid because the mid capture didn't start until the far capture ended. So I don't know what they're doing. You got to get on the points. If you don't get on the points and control those points, you're not going to win this game. No way we could stop them on the core. Way too much. Couldn't get out of this, so I just sat behind my shield instead of trying to drive out of it and still getting hit by it. I knew I wasn't going to make it. So again, all of them are on me busy. 3 of my teammates were still alive, and yet they're not accomplishing anything, and they're not helping fight. So again, too late. They're not moving quick enough. They're not really assaulting these points like you need to be. You got to be very, very aggressive when you're playing down a man. You really have to be aggressive out there and go after those points. Even if it means you die, you gave it a shot. Now, throwing yourself mindlessly at a point that's got 4 enemies on it already, no, don't do that. But if there's nobody there, they're otherwise occupied, they're clearly occupied on the core, throw your freaking bot on that point. At least get a third or 2/3 of it captured before they stop you. You can always run too. You don't have to sit there and try to finish the cap. You can always run after you've gotten a sliver or two, a third or two of it captured. You don't have to sit there the whole time for nothing if you know they're going to stop you from getting that last third. You can leave, flee the scene, and come back later when their attention's elsewhere and get a sneaky cap. That's actually a good strategy sometimes, is to pocket a point to where all you've got to do is sit there for just a few short seconds to have all 3 points. Very good strategy. So they've evened things up by taking that core. We need to stay ahead by either taking all 3 points or holding on to both 2 of 3 points more than they do. So going to engage this mortar up close. It's a tilt mortar. Now he's got backup in the form of 2 allies there. They are also capping far back. Again, team is just not being responsive enough. This guy wanders in and it's way too late. Another thing you need to do when you're short is, if you're going to be aggressive, you got to pay attention not only to your allies' health bar, but enemy health bars too. All you got to do is look at and shoot an enemy, and you can see how many people are there. So he could see that there were 3 enemies there, all with pretty good health left, and my health was dropping very fast. So sometimes you're not going to be helpful if you try to roll in as backup right as your ally's dying. A lot of times if I see that happening, I see 3 enemies in one place fighting one guy, I'm going to go elsewhere. At least he's kept him busy. I'm going to meet the same fate that he did, trying to fight 3 of them alone in most cases. So I'm going to go somewhere else like I did here and fight this bot over this point. Luckily, he doesn't have the cavalry's not arriving yet, so I'm able to just sit here and whittle this bot builder chassis bot down. That's what that was. It came out of the bot builder. I recognized that thing after playing with it for a little bit. So anyway, we lost that match by 1%. If we could have got a little more, just another tick would have at least given us a draw. 2 more ticks, and we would have won. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.